matter what.
The only thing that matters is how you relate to them.
Right.
They, I mean, a lot of dogs are abused and they still love the abusers, you know. But if you don't abuse them, the love is so much deeper and so much constant, so much more constant, you know. And they just absolutely love. And it's always. My
Yeah.
like August here, he sleeps in the living room. I sleep in the bedroom, of course, which is on the other side of the house. But if I stir at night, he gets up and I can hear his toenails on the wooden floor and he comes to check on me. Now he knows not to, he doesn't jump on the bed or anything. He knows not to even stick his nose further than just the edge of the bed because he doesn't want to wake me up. But he wants to check that I'm okay.
He goes on patrol.
Yeah, yeah.
Goes on patrol. Well, Erhard, if you had uh, a couple of pieces of advice to give to humans about how to experience the world more like the way their dogs would, how would you position that to them?
Oh, so much. Uh, be constant, be constant, be balanced, be real, be honest, uh, love. Learn to love. You
Right,
know, not if you do such and such, then I love you. No, that's not love. That's conditional. You
right.
just be open to just always loving. They're always loving. They live in love.
Yeah. They're just amazing creatures, even when they bark when they're not supposed to.
Oh yeah. Well, my youngest German Shepherd is about 14 months old, and she's all black. Her name is Angelica, but I call her the Black Demon because she's wild with energy, just absolutely wild.
Yeah,
But she has to be wherever I am, whichever room I'm in, and she lies down with her snout on my, she always has to be on my foot. And
hmm,
so if I get up and go to another room, she gets up and goes to that room, back and forth. Except she's not in here because I cannot. She makes too much disturbance. She's
right.
still crazy. You know.
And is she super bonded to August?
No, she wants to be, but he doesn't want it. he
Right.
he says, "Don't bother me." So he snarls at her, and she has little correction marks on her black face from his correcting her with his teeth. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the
But
great thing is that they communicate to each other in ways that humans don't really know how to. I mean, not that we would want to bite someone's face, but when I think about two dogs meeting, they get right to the point, right? And they,
yeah,
from their sense of smell, they can tell exactly where you've been and what you've done. But with
right.
as humans, we're so reserved and standoffish when we meet somebody, unless you're super outgoing. But so I wish for more of that.
Well, the dogs have the habit of smelling each other's rear end usually when they meet,
Yes,
and we humans aren't allowed to do that. So
thank God.
we suffer from a certain distance. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'd like to tell you a little history of mine with dogs. Do you have one?
I have a Husky Shepherd mix.
Oh,
He's
wonderful.
70 pounds and he's 15.
Wow.
So yeah, so I kind of
Congrats.
I give him a pass when something pops up.
15
So
is very old for a large dog. This
yeah.
one I showed you the picture of was 15 when he died from his stomach twisting.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
that's what happens to larger dogs and other animals like horses and so on.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so tell me your story.
Well, I have two sons who are grown up now. Um, In fact, the the older son has been married for 10 years, but my younger son, who's now 32, he's going to get married this coming Sunday. And they are both grown up with dogs, right? And they are the most wonderful people I know in life. They are not just because I'm their father, but they never were a trouble in my life. They were always strong and responsible and very intelligent and so on. And I attribute it to the fact that when I was trained to train dogs, I translated that into my upbringing for my sons. I treated them like dogs, in other words. But really, but in a good way.
In the very best way, right.
I treat my sons when they were 2 years old with the same respect that I would treat adults. And
Yes.
even high up adults, the same respect and the same. I expected them to be responsible for themselves, even when they were 2 years old. That was my behavior towards them. It was a given. Everything that I teach is like really, really powerful stuff for people to be successful in life in a real way, in the fundamental ways, in terms of our real identity and who we really are. And my sons have never come to any of my classes, but they live and act everything that I teach. They are like my most successful students.
Yes. And I also think that growing up around dogs enhances the childhood, and you always have someone to talk to if something goes wrong. And it's just very different than cats. And, dogs require more hands-on help, for walking and feeding and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, the dogs, the one I showed you the picture of, he grew up when my first one, Dylan, was a baby. So they grew up together.
Yeah.
And I have pictures of them together where the dog is larger than Dylan standing up, and they would fight over the same tennis balls, and Dylan would cry when the dog took the tennis ball or got there faster, which he always did, But Dylan is a brilliantly intelligent person, and he is like sweet. He's like a teddy bear. He is just a wonderful, generous person who treats everybody with respect, and with equality. That sense of equality, treating people as equals, is so powerful. And Dylan, both of my sons are that way, absolutely.
Just like a dog.
Yeah. And I never had problems with them like the terrible twos or teenage problems, or drugs or alcohol. Nothing ever. And they're totally self-empowered and independent, but they treat me with complete love.
Awesome.
Just like the dogs. And they all grew up where I'd say them, "Oh, Dylan, I love you. I love you almost as much as Arjuna." And even my younger one, who Arjuna was long dead when my Nicholas was born. He knows that I love you almost as much as Arjuna.
That's sweet. And now, do they have dogs?
Yes.
Awesome.
My older son doesn't have dogs because it's not allowed in the house he's renting. But my younger son has 2 wonderful rescue dogs that are they like to be like this, cheek with them, and they always sleep with their cheek next to him or right on his legs,
Snuggle bunnies. Well, they better get ready for the new bride, right?
Oh, they are ready. They love her. Yeah, they love her even more than him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, Nicholas, we love you, but almost as much as Arjuna and the other two dogs.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, this has been great. And I would encourage everybody, if you'd like to learn more about Erhard, best thing to do is just Google Erhard Vogel, and you'll find all kinds of information about him,
Yes.
about his books, about the Nataraja Meditation and Yoga Center in La Jolla. And we hope that he'll come back and chat with us sometime soon about dogs and all things wonderful.
Oh, we could talk about cats too, because I have two cats.
Well, this is the Rover Reporter, though, don't you know?
Listen to this. I have an aviary outside, and I used to have about 60 canaries and finches in there. I mean, they fly around, they have a lot of room. I had a saltwater aquarium with beautiful, beautiful creatures in it. And now I still have a koi pond with great, big, beautiful, colorful koi in it. So,
Yeah.
and I have two cats.
You have to feed the koi, right?
Yes.
Yes. I have cats too. I have 3 tuxedo cats that I never planned on having. They just came.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to show you my husky shepherd.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Hi, Code.
I think it'd be nice to show your dog in this episode.
I can, yeah.
What's his name?
I have 2. Hi, Cody. Kodiak.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is he
And
white?
then I have a Yorkie.
Oh, yes.
Cody, come here, hon. Hi, good boy. That's Erhard. Say hi to Erhard.
Is that Cody?
That's Cody, yeah.
Hi, Cody.
Well, I guess that's his whole appearance.
That's right. That's
Oh.
impressive. He's beautiful.
Thank you. I adore him. You can imagine after 15 years, we're pretty close.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
what you just said, I adore him. That I think that is common among dog owners. You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, I started my dog career with a Shetland sheepdog. And he was so smart, Erhard, that literally he could do a crossword puzzle. And so when he passed, I thought every dog would be like that. And so I got this husky shepherd, and he was so bouncy, I could not even put a leash on him. He probably should have been medicated. But literally, when we went out, I had to go out the front door, open the car door, and say, go to the car. And he would run to the car. But
Yeah.
so I expected to have this very active social life with this dog, but he was epileptic.
Oh.
And so what I had envisioned the last 15 years being didn't happen. He's really confined to my yard and my house. It's a pretty good life, trust me.
Yeah.
But it's been different. And so that was a hard thing.
Can he not ride in your car?
He can ride in my car, and we can go places where there aren't other dogs. But once he started having seizures, dogs can smell when there's a problem, other dogs,
Yeah.
and he gets attacked.
Oh, yeah.
So we can't be at the park or any place like that where you would
Right.
interact with other dogs. So,
But he gets along with your other dog, does he?
yeah, and the cats.
Uh-huh.
But this is his pack.
Yes, right. Yeah.
So,
Well, he's very lucky. You must have taken good care of him to live that long.
I have taken pretty good care of him to the best of my ability because I'm not a vet, but my vet knows me very well.
Yeah. Well, I think having a good vet is a treasure. I have that good fortune to have a wonderful vet who is very devoted and very knowledgeable, so that helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because
What do you?
they do get ill at times. You know?
Yeah. Emmett.